Raced, but it did produce 3 Super Bowl wins, the only ones that have taken place in Dallas since Jerry's owned the team.
That certainly got a lot of conversation going here. And we are joined this morning by our insider, Dan Graziano, in the lower right of your screen. And Torrey Smith is back for another Wednesday, and we're delighted to have you. But, Dan, I will start with you. If they are not able to get a deal done with Dak, and Lord knows they haven't been able to now for 2 years, is there reason to believe they will take other steps, like maybe a draft pick, to try and address that quarterback situation?
They'd certainly have to consider it, Greeny. I mean, to Ed's point, it is not something they do. Since the Troy Aikman pick in '89, they've only taken one quarterback before the 4th round, and that was Quincy Carter in 2001. So it's not something they do. But, you know, I talked to Todd Archer, our Cowboys reporter, a lot. We talk about the situation a lot, exchange notes. He pointed out they went 30 years without drafting an offensive lineman in the 1st round. Then they did it 3 times in 4 April. And you're confronting the possibility that he is going to play another year on the franchise tag and then leave in free agency next year when the franchise tag would get to $52 million. Then you have to consider it because you have to be thinking beyond just this year. Everything the Cowboys are saying says that they want to keep him. He wants to be there. There's a deal to be done, and I think they eventually get there. But if they don't get there by late April, I think Ed's point is a good one. They would have to at least look at that possibility.
Here's the thing, though, Dan. When you say he wants to do a deal, they want to do a deal, and we have reason to believe they'll get it done.
Yes.
We have been saying exactly that for 2 years. I mean, literally exactly those 3 phrases have been spoken on this program 1 trillion times in the last 2 years, and it continues not to happen again with Dak Prescott in Dallas.
They should have signed him 2 years ago, and they should sign him tomorrow. You know, you're talking about a guy who is an elite talent. Dak Prescott has the exact same quarterback rating as the other quarterback in Texas, Deshaun Watson, yet he's constantly disrespected. No one questions his value or if he should be paid. And Dak Prescott proved when he was gone that he was a major piece of this offense, and it goes beyond simply the field. His leadership and the way the team rallied around him, that was missing. So, Dallas, don't mess this up again. You have your guy. Take care of him. He has the opportunity to bounce back. They're already paying Amari Cooper, and he has weapons around him. It's hard to find an elite quarterback. And you have a guy, they don't just grow on trees. Pay him, take care of him, and move forward with Dak Prescott as your future.
That is quite a number. You just referenced it, and Hembo's got it up on the screen. The same exact career QBR as Deshaun Watson. And Watson is the 2nd highest paid player in the National Football League, and Dak is where he is. My former Cowboy is Marcus Spears. I saw you nodding along. What do you think, Swagoo?
Gee, listen, we going in circles. There's a song I was about to start singing, but listen, here is what it is, and I thought Ed made a great point, and Graz talking about it. Because Dak has the amount of leverage that he has, and because this situation has played out in this long, it might be smart, business-wise, for the Dallas Cowboys to draft a quarterback in this draft and continue to try to get that room to where you might want it to look like without Dak Prescott being a part of it. Because now this is about Dak Prescott and his agent Todd France. This is no longer about the Cowboys negotiating piece. It's no longer about the amount of years. And this is the next level of that conversation with Dak Prescott. Dak can do whatever the hell he want to do now. Like, he's in a position now to say, okay, I'm chilling for a year. Tag me, franchise me, I'm playing. But next year, you got to come see me, or I'm going to see about one of these 31 other teams in the NFL. That's the conversation now. It's no longer about, can Jerry and Dak get it done, and what will it look like, and what will the terms be. That was last year. They went over the terms, 5 or 4 years. Dak wanted 4. Todd France's agent wanted 4. They decided not to sign anything. This is all about whatever Dak Prescott and his agent wants to do, period. Does not have anything to do with the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, so let me bring in Dominique, who has been elevated recently from the president of Dak's fan club to now an honorary member of the family. You are, to my understanding, an honorary member of the Prescott family. And so now here we are, Dominique, talking about them bringing another quarterback in. What is our reaction?
Well, yeah, thanks to Brother Tad, I am now a cousin of the family, and I support everything that Spears just said, because what Marcus is explaining is leverage, and leverage is about your alternative. At the end of this season, the alternative for the Cowboys is no quarterback. The alternative for Dak Prescott is I can go to any team I want that'll pay me whatever I tell them to pay me. So who is more scared of the end of this cliff right now? No one is more scared than the Cowboys. Dak should probably be welcoming the idea of playing under another franchise tag, because aside from this injury he had last year, he's never missed a game. He'll be healthy and he'll ball out, and then he'll be a free agent and he can decide to go somewhere else and maybe take less to win a championship in another organization that's better built, or go and make all the money he possibly can make. So to me, it feels like they've really messed the situation up, which we've all said up until this point. What's that finger mean, Graziano? You got
Graziano,
a finger?
go ahead.
Where is the evidence that he would consider taking less? Well, I mean, he was offered $34.5 million a year with $110 guaranteed a year ago. Didn't take it. No, there's no taking less here. He knows his value. The franchise tag assigns a value to him too.
I don't think he should. As a cousin, I would like all the money in the family as possible. However, I'm saying it's up to him. He can do whatever he wants at that point. And they have ruined this opportunity, which we've all said for the last couple of years. But I do think it's important that we understand how much strength he has. And I do think it's probably a bad idea for them to draft a quarterback no matter what happens in this situation. This team is full of holes. They need to fill those holes, whether Dak's the long-term answer or anybody else, because I think they're at number 10. You're not going to get a Dak replacement at number 10. You struck gold and got
there. They want him there. They feel like they'll get to it at some point. But right now it's on hold because of the fact of they don't know how to structure it, because they don't know what the caps are going to be the next 2 years.
Dan, that is your last Dak question of the week, I promise you.
Just this week.
For with us. With us. I know you have other duties that you need to take care of, but let me ask you a Big Ben question. It seems like the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger are trying to work things out. What are the chances and possibilities that does not happen and they move on from Big Ben?
I think it could look silly 24 hours from now. I think the most likely outcome here at this point, based on everything I've heard, is that he stays, is that he's the starting quarterback for the Steelers in 2021. How they get to that point, I can't be sure, because the most they can save on the salary cap this year if he's on the team is about $17 million. Now, maybe that's enough. It will just hamper them in terms of their ability to sign free agents, do extensions with some of their great young players, et cetera. But it sounds like they want to find a way, and that he wants to be there. So I think there could be resolution on this here in the next day or two, because there has been contact between the two sides in the last couple of days, and they know sort of what needs to happen to make him to keep him their quarterback. Could it still go off the rails and end up with him released or retired, et cetera? Yes, it could. Absolutely could. But it seems like all the momentum the last couple of days has been pointing toward he stays and he's back, and they build a team around him however they can for 2021.
Dan, who is going to be the Patriots QB next season, and why?
I mean, how's your arm feeling? Like, is it? I mean, they could have tryouts, and we may need to get up there and see if, And look, I think they could bring Cam Newton back. I'm not sure that's their top option right now. Obviously, it didn't go great, though they did really like Cam. Like, I mean, the way he was in the building, how hard he worked, he made a good impression on the coaching staff. So that's a possible outcome. We've heard Marcus Mariota brought up as a possibility there. He's available in trade. He's backing up Derek Carr in Las Vegas, and he's making a lot of money this year. They want to move on. But it starts to look a little bit, like you're picking over the ball.
Spears used it with Hannah Storm there to talk about the pole position that Dak is in. The other guy that's famously used the word leverage is the guy that's going to be paying Dak all that money. Presumably that's Jerry Jones, who said Dak has all the leverage. Marcus Spears knows Jerry well, played for the Cowboys. He's an ESPN football analyst, and he joins us this morning on Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Zubin. I got to ask you here, how do you feel?
My man.
How do you feel the negotiations are playing out here?
What up, family? Man, listen, the negotiations are playing out like they played out for the previous 2 years. And You know, Dak is in the situation now where he can do whatever he wants to do. Last year, I felt like he shouldn't have signed the tag because it was going to put them in a tough situation, but they signed Andy Dalton and kind of covered themselves. And then obviously we know what transpired with Dak, but Dak has all the leverage with the Cowboys. They don't have another quarterback on their roster that they feel like they can win with, and they will be in rebuild mode if they let him walk.
Marcus, I feel like that they're going to get the deal done. When it gets done, I don't know. We've been